On that and start a new recording session. So we're 45 minutes into the stream. Okay. I am actually going to summon out Titus first. And I am going to finish Titus leveling up here and growing. This particular battle type Innocent Devil is mostly being developed for utility's sake. There's a couple of secret areas near the end of the game that you need this kind to open up. The kind that I'm gonna make him. There's one secret area near the end of the Forest of Jigromal that I need to actually get a special Innocent Devil variation from this guy to have. But I'm waiting until I can get at least a half-decent... I'm waiting until I can at least get a half-decent special weapon before I start fucking with shit like that. He's taken a lot of damage from these flame demons. This is one of the big downsides to having a brute Innocent Devil type, by the way. Brute Innocent Devils are very slow, very heavy. They're sitting ducks for a lot of the game's most dangerous enemies. And elemental demons are easily one of the game's most dangerous enemies. They have abilities that, when they hit their later stages, will allow them to combat them, but that takes a while. So you can go up the Tower of Eternity as many times as you want, as long as you can take the challenge. And it will only get easier because you'll only level up and get stronger Innocent Devils as you go. So it's not like it's actually going to be that difficult. The hardest part of doing the Tower of Eternity is doing it once. Is doing it the first time. When you don't really know what's coming and you don't really know what to expect. In the case of the Tower of Evermore, which is the tower across the way that's in Garibaldi Temple, that is a post-game area that you will basically want to do when the game is over. I am going to be doing that before the game is over, specifically so that I can show it off. And you guys can see just how bullshit it is. Because that area is ridiculously fucking overclocked. It's hilarious. And there's several enemies that you will only ever see inside the Tower of Evermore. And I want to show off as much of this game as possible, because this game is actually fairly... Adding mods to a game is frustrating. Got two mods that barely work. That would be why you check the actual, like... You need to check the ratings that people have for the mods that you are picking up. Because modifications to a game can really fuck up the code. And that, I think, is what you're not taking into account when you are getting a lot of these mods. You see a mod and you're like, oh, I just want to add that to my list. You might want to be careful. Yeah, check the versions of the mods, too. Sometimes outdated versions of a mod don't always get cleaned up by the guys who create newer versions or better versions of them. Mods are something you really need to be very careful with when you install them. Some of them are just not very good. Okay, if both of them are replacers, is there any enemy type or model that they both replace on the same item? If that's the case, uninstall one. And that's probably where your problem is coming from. Because if they both replace the same thing, that's an issue. And it fucks up the code, and the system doesn't know how to deal with it. If that's the case, it ends up being your fault. You could steal jet blacks from these guys. I don't normally rob these guys. I just did it to show off what happens when you rob them. But yeah, like, part of the problem may be that they're the fact that they're both replacers. You need to be very careful about what mods you pull in, and you also need to check the reviews and whatnot of the mods to figure out, does this mod work properly with this? Because, and there's his homing eye ability. The homing eye ability is actually one of the strongest abilities for this guy. One is to turn robots in the game into droids from Star Wars. The other is meant to change the guards in the city to Coruscant guards from Coruscant. It could be that those two are not working very well together because they're both overlapping in the same general area of code. But you also need to actually look and see the ratings and descriptions of the mods that you're fucking with so that you know if they work well in consort with another, or if they don't, or if they work very well at all. Because part of the problem with mods is a mod only works as well as the person who actually coded it. And I'm not going to shit on any mod makers because I haven't experimented with a lot of mods over the course of my time, but I do want to point this out. The thing about some mods is that mods can interfere with each other in a lot of ways that don't make sense, and they're also random additions to code sometimes. And some people who are programmers, even when they're a master programmer, you could still make a mistake and not see something, and then everybody has to deal with it. To sort it out requires starting a new game or new game plus. The city one usually works, but sometimes, but this time it ain't. Yeah, it sounds like the code that was added in to change the models isn't working right because it's messing with the assets in a way that the game isn't handling very well. So, homing eye, you might wonder what this ability does, and this is what it does. It summons a bunch of eyes. The eyes will float around and then try to hit an enemy, and when they touch an enemy, that enemy will then suffer a nasty explosion. So these homing eyes are bombs. And they're a good extra defense for a heavier, slower, innocent devil that is having trouble keeping up with faster and more agile enemies because the eye itself will be fast and agile enough to remove the problem. Yeah, if you have to go through that level of effort to sort out what's wrong with the mod, you probably just shouldn't download it. Working with mods is a painstaking process, and you really need to be careful with what you're putting in your game's code. This is one of the reasons why I don't like using mods really at all. And it's because it's not that I don't, you know, it's not that I err on bad faith. It's that I like it when my game actually functions, and most mods don't really fuck up a game's ability to actually function. But every so often, you might download a mod that can really fuck up how a game is supposed to work. And I hate messing with mods because messing with mods means messing with a game's formula and balance as well, and a lot of mods can just fucking ruin that. If you're somebody who doesn't really care about game balancing, obviously it's not that big of a deal. But if you're like me and that matters to you because you like the game to challenge you and you like to be able to meet the challenge of the game, then that's kind of one of the things you really need to worry about, is that. Get an update that screws up the mods so you can get your Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is not the worst example of that. I would argue Aliens Colonial Marines is. Because some guy created a mod that fixed the typo in the code that made all the aliens act like incredibly stupid rejects with bad AI and actually made them have good AI. And then an update was released for the game that fucked up the modification and fucked up the AI again. Because it put the typo back in. That's another reason why I don't like using mods. If a game receives an update, the modifications now have to be restructured and updated themselves. And that's because when the game gets updated or patched, the patch notes can fuck the mod's coding up in the system. And then you have to delete and uninstall the mod and then reinstall it and pray to God that it works or doesn't fuck the code up and create spaghetti code again, because it totally can and totally will. It's just the update made it difficult now, because if you try to select a mod in the mod section of Fallout, you'll be kicked back to the main menu. That was the 60 FPS update by Bethesda. I mean, it's Bethesda. Did you really expect them to not fuck up the code to their games? Bethesda has a long history of creating games that are ridiculously buggy, ridiculously fucked, and ridiculously poorly put together when it comes to their actual coding. Bethesda never made itself great. The community around Bethesda's games made their games great, because Bethesda's community of modders and hackers that were fans of the games they were designing were the ones to fix 90% of their issues. It was meant to break some people's mod orders and such, mine included. A lot of companies are going super anti-modification because modifications tend to make their games more entertaining, more fun, and more playable. In some ways, more than they were originally supposed to be. I don't think they're going anti-modification. I know Bethesda is trying to find a way to monetize it all the modifications that go through them, but the way they wanted to do that was to force everybody that was making mods for their games would basically have to give all of the money that they were getting to Bethesda, and Bethesda would hire them as an intern to do this. But interns are paid almost nothing, and they would also have to sign away their rights to the work that they created, which that was an extremely bad decision for Bethesda to make, and was extremely anti-consumer, in addition to being ridiculously unfriendly to the person who fixed your fucking game. This is all shit that people verified, by the way. How's his evolution? He's got 35 out of 90 crystals. Okay. He's gonna be a while, isn't it? Having to buy a separate currency to buy something that shouldn't need to be budget. I mean, what you should be doing to somebody who mods your game in order to make it better is you should be thanking them and asking them to come on and assist you in working on the code of your game. Because it's clear that your code writers don't understand how to properly proofread the code they make and work through it. Brute force level 2. Okay, that is the utility skill that this particular brute type battle type innocent devil needed. Could you stop slapping him around so I could kill him? Thank you. Uh, 343. Oh shit. Oh god. Ow, 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 ow. Stop fucking choking me. No, come here, bitch. Come here. Quit the parries. I'm kicking your ass. Yeah, for some reason they can just randomly guard break your attacks and parry you. The reasoning behind that is never explained. Some enemies can just do that. I think 343 has just, like, Microsoft has just defunded the living shit out of them because Microsoft has not seen a lot of good results from them. But Microsoft also didn't really give them the team and the materials they needed to begin with in order to do what they needed to do. My take on the 343 issue is that 343 has been trying to get the staff and attention that it has needed and the funding for a while to fix the games that they've been working on, and Microsoft just hasn't been doing it. And I think that's because Microsoft ended up purchasing Blizzard, and I don't know what to make of that yet. If Microsoft can fix what Blizzard has destroyed, great. But I don't know if Microsoft's going to do that. And I also don't think I care. 343 is like its namesake. Oh, for the love of God, don't compare those people to Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark was worse. Come on, we all know Guilty Spark was horrible. Microsoft as well. I think Microsoft just needs to give Halo to a team that could actually handle the series. The series has been struggling to survive with 343's handling of it for well over 10 years now. Halo Infinite was a fantastic game to play, but it was missing too many features. And when it finally started getting a lot of those features, the servers were such crap and the connectivity was such crap that it became a major pain in the ass to even try to attempt it. 63, okay. Would let the devs of Doom work on Halo. Hey, I'd do that. Don't mind my innocent devil just knocking that motherfucker around and juggling him. I don't think they refuse. I think the problem is that they just weren't getting funding and they weren't getting enough people. That game kept getting features and stuff, but it kept getting such half-assed versions of it. I'm like, either the entire team that's working on this is bogus, or it's half the size that we think it is, and I'm kind of the opinion that 343 was half the size that everybody thought it was. And there's his Devil Shard. There's a skeleton crew working on Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that had been happening for a while. Give me that Devil Shard. I want it. I need it, actually. Hello! That was almost a bomb in my face. By the way, if those thieves get away with whatever they steal from you, it's gone forever. Every time they attack you like that with their jumping claw attack, there's a random chance they'll steal something from you. When they spin their bag at you, it's just them spinning their bag at you, and it can deal very minor damage, but it doesn't actually kill you. Oh, he dropped Carbon Steel. That's a rare drop for those guys. 30 hearts later, everyone in the room is dead. Do you want to die? I want to die. I actually don't want to die. I want to live. Someone to kiss, someone to miss. Nobody's gonna get that fucking reference. I'm gonna shoot you, and then I'm gonna shoot myself because I ain't dying in no plane crash. Or no helicopter crash. It wasn't a plane crash, it was the helicopter crash I didn't want to die in. Hey! 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 Come back here, you flightless bird. I'm gonna turn you into dinner. What the fuck? Are you referencing how Valve can't count past 2 again? I swear to God, you're never gonna get over that. Maybe. Maybe my ass. To be fair, people have been waiting on a fucking resolution to Half-Life for how long now? I don't know why their AI is bugging out and they're not attacking me, but none of these fucking armor knights were defending themselves there. And by the time they actually started fighting back, they were dead. Let's to number 3. It's not an edition of a Valve game. I mean, people have been waiting on a resolution to Half-Life for decades. At this point. There's no Portal 3, even though people would love a Portal 3. There's... Portal was properly, I believe, resolved at least, though. There's no Half-Life 3, even though Half-Life has not been fucking finished. I believe System Shock was another game series that they worked on. That never got a System Shock 3. Oh, there's his final evolution. Team Fortress never got a third game. And it wouldn't be hard to improve upon Team Fortress. I played against bots one time as a sniper and managed to no-scope headshot somebody with a sniper rifle at point blank. It was kind of interesting. So, this is the Liquid Golem. The Liquid Golem is a living Mercury Golem. And he's basically one of the 3 ultimate brute class Innocent Devils you can make. I say one of the 3 ultimate brute class Innocent Devils because there's actually 3 brutes that you can make. The Liquid Metal Golem is one. There's another golem, and then there's a big-ass cuddly teddy bear. I've played a little bit of TF2. I'm not a fan of TF2. I have a friend who's really fucking salty about the fact that I'm not that into TF2. I respect his play of it. I respect that he is a fan of it. I even respect why he's a fan of it, because TF2 is a good game. But it's not for me. I don't know why, I'm just not in it. Like, I'm just not into it, man. I tried. I just don't care. I don't know why, but I don't care about TF2. I'm heartbroken that the fans of that series have never gotten a sequel. I played a little bit of Half-Life 2. Admittedly, I didn't play very much. Did he just kill all of them? No, he killed 2 of them. Okay. Yay, 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 yay. Played all of Half-Life 2, it was incredible. Yeah, the bit of Half-Life 2 that I played was kind of forgettable. That's the Tower of Evermore. Okay, so that's 2 Innocent Devils done. I need to go make another golem, unfortunately, before I can make the ones that I want to make. Mercury Sphere. This is what Mercury Sphere does, by the way. Your liquid metal golem, or your liquid golem, just transforms into a big molten sphere of mercury and starts beating the shit out of everything for a while, flying around. And eventually he just kind of randomly stops. Probably weren't interested enough in Half-Life. I never played the first one, so I wonder if that didn't have something to do with it.